Namaste, everyone. So, first of all, congratulations to all Divine Feminine Sangha members on the occasion of our second anniversary. So, we have completed 2 years. So, today we have a special guest with us on this occasion, and he is none other than our Ananda Karunesh ji. We all know him as the author of our PSSM Bible, Thousand Seeds of Joy. Few words about him. Anand Karunesh is the founder of the Path of Joy, a non-profit educational and humanitarian organization. He envisions the co-creation of new matriarchal earth with a divine partnership between human beings, Mother Earth, and many ascended goddesses, gods, and Buddhas. His first book, A Thousand Seeds of Joy, Teachings of Lakshmi and Saraswati, was published in 2018. The channeled teachings of goddesses Lakshmi and Saraswati in this book have touched the hearts of many from different belief systems, not just Hinduism, but different belief systems, religions, and faiths. Goddesses Lakshmi and Saraswati present the ancient wisdom of Vedanta, mystic Christianity, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Buddhism through a simple, direct, and profound conversation with Anand Karunesh. This book has been translated in multiple languages and was chosen as the first Bible for the PSSM organization by our Guruji Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji in 2019. So in 2019, Anand Karneshi channeled a breath process called Devi Kriya through goddess Parvati that energizes, cleanses, and harmonizes the chakra system of the human body. More recently, he has helped in the creation of 8 Devi workshops, which bring together the healing and transformation work of many highly gifted and experienced teachers. He is currently working on his next book, A Thousand Flowers of Joy, channeled by Goddess Parvati. We are all waiting for it, sir. And also on the other side, he's a professor of finance at Eisenberg School of Management, University of Massachusetts, Amherst. He served as the head of finance department from 2011 to 2018. He believes in finance of the heart and teaches a course in sustainable finance dealing with climate change, loss of biodiversity, social injustice, economic inequality, food shortage, and other sustainability issues affecting planet Earth. Immense gratitude to you for accepting our invitation, sir, and coming on to our Divine Feminine Sangha platform. We are so blessed and fortunate to have you on this occasion of our DFS second anniversary, because our main motto of this Sangha is accepting and awakening the feminine side of every being. And most of your work is on awakening the divine feminine and balancing feminine and masculine qualities. And a lot of people think that feminine is just about women, but after reading your book, I just also want to tell everyone it's not just about women by inviting you. So it is all about that feminine qualities in every human being. We are so honored to have you here, sir. We welcome you onto this platform. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Parnita ji. It's such a pleasure to be here, to be with all of you. And I had heard about this organization, Divine Feminine Sangha, and you have 6,000 members or so, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You founded this like 2 years ago? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Just in my, I was just hearing about uh, Patriji. I was just hearing Patriji. He was talking about my Shodara, and she created some sangha for women.
Yeah.
And I just heard about it. But then when I was talking with Patriji in a conversation with him, suddenly this popped up. I didn't had any plan or anything, but it just popped up. I just told him that I want to create this sangha for women. But at that time, she didn't have that meditation, but only compassionate listening space. So I told that along with compassionate listening space, we'll include meditation. And it started in English, and just within a few months, translated into Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, and Malayalam. And yeah, it is just spreading by word. So every day way we create WhatsApp groups, it was just full in a couple of days. So we started WhatsApp groups in every district in Andhra and Telangana. But of course, it was a bit hard for us to manage. Then we moved on to Telegram, and so many things we are just changing and trying to improve. And yeah, the journey is going on, sir. And a lot of women has amazing testimonials after accepting their feminine side. Many of their gynecological issues are automatically reduced or completely gone. Like some people who are trying for kids, and because of some infertility issues, even they tried IVF and other things. But after these particular meditations, even now, some people who could not get conceived for 12 years, they got conceived and delivered babies. Like about 8 people, so, such stories are there. And for people who have fibroids, they got cleared. And so many women who are having all these menstrual issues, they're getting cleared, and they're so happy. So this is just few things about DFS, but we all would love to hear more from you, sir, because a lot of people think that divine feminine is all about women, but we want to tell that divine feminine is not just about women, but is about every human being and the qualities.
Totally, totally. So happy to be here. Everybody, welcome. And thank you for that very generous introduction. And so, welcome everybody. Today, we will talk a little bit about these movements in the context of my book, as you might have seen, Thousand Seeds of Joy.
Yes, sir.
Many of you have, probably read it.
Yeah,
And
we all have a copy of it, and think now it isn't even translated into Telugu. So
yeah,
a lot of people are having the Telugu copies, and I'm also blessed that recently Anusha, who translated the book into Telugu, she
yeah.
approached me to do the guided meditations in
Oh,
Telugu.
wonderful, wonderful. Now we even have those scan codes, in the new
Yeah.
edition. So anybody can write on the phone, scan it, and do the meditations. So,
Wow,
yeah, the new
amazing.
edition is coming out. But right now, if you go on Amazon, the book is not available because the new edition is coming out. So welcome everybody, and I will maybe talk a little bit about the book, little bit about the divine feminine movements, and little bit about the divine feminine, what it is. So maybe we'll start with divine feminine. What is divine feminine, and how we can integrate that into our lives. So let us begin with that. Yeah, everybody. So let me see. Yeah, gallery view. Somehow I cannot see the gallery view. I can only see the two of us. Are we spotlighted? Yeah, maybe. Or if you put it on speaker view, we can see. Uh, there are. But I can see.
Friends, can you all just switch on your videos? It will
Yeah,
be good to see
hello,
all of you.
hello
I think
everybody.
we have in Zoom we have around 90 people,
Oh,
and
wonderful, wonderful to see you all. See, it's the nature of divine feminine to connect, to flow. It is, we're all integrated in the same energy to see everybody's face. That's very feminine. All of you here. Wow, wonderful. Beautiful group. So what is feminine? Think about living your daily life. You wake up and then you spend these moments, and early in the morning, you get some beautiful thoughts. Have you noticed that sometimes there is some issue deep down that needs to be addressed, and that comes only in the morning? Early morning, you go, oh, I must do this, I must do this. And by the time the morning becomes afternoon and evening, you've forgotten it. And again, early in the morning, you're reminded of, some important things in your life, because morning is the time where the mind has processed all the energies and you are in the emptiness. And from that emptiness, you can begin to see your life, what it is. So early morning meditations are beautiful ways to get into the divine feminine. And what is feminine and what is masculine? Feminine synthesizes, feminine unifies, feminine is connected to everything. That is why feminine can easily do multitasking. Masculine is, more focused, structure, foundation, thinking, analyzing, which is needed. which has created the industrial revolution, which has created agriculture, which has created science. All of that is masculine, sure. But if you get too much into the masculine and if you build too many structures, too much thinking, what happens? The juice of the life is gone, right? You're just thinking, 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 working, 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 creating, creating, creating. But when is the time to just be with the moment? So that being with the moment, being with the emptiness, being with the flow, that is feminine because that unifies the mind with the body and the soul and the higher self. If you're only living in the mind, you become too masculine. Every human being needs both feminine and masculine. You are a mind, you are a body, you are a soul, and then you are none of these also. These are temporary identities. You're in the end, you are your higher self, right? That emptiness, fullness, that bliss. Children know this really well. And Lakshmi ji says in the book, in Thousand Seeds of Joy, I don't know if this part is mentioned in the book, but this definitely came as a channeling. A lot of channeling came, some of it became the first book, some of it will become the second book, and so on. So she says when a child is born, the first 7 years are very feminine. That's why child is so close to the mother, closer to the mother than the father. And there's a natural biological bond, there's a natural psychological bond. You've lived in the womb for 9 months, and that's familiar. So, mother is very familiar. And children are very feminine. They easily cry, you know, then they stop crying once they become 10 years old. Boys don't cry, and, we give them all those messages, and then they stop crying. But the natural instinct is very feminine, very flowing. So, children have a very good feeling of the flow of nature, of what's happening early in the morning. They just flow with it, just get the consciousness right, entering in their being, and they can totally absorb it. There are, everybody knows that. You look in children's eyes, and they're just there, they're present. So they have the feminine, and they're learning about the masculine. And she would say, after 7 years, it becomes more, the father's role becomes definitely more important to give some structure, stability. And when we say father mother, we don't mean particular people. The mother can play the father's role also. She has the masculine. The father can play the mother's role also. So we mean it in a more general way. But yeah, there is some biological thing that will happen only with the mother. And only the mother can breastfeed. Only the mother can make certain connections that the father cannot. So there is a natural affinity to the mother. So that is there. But children are so open to the feminine, then they learn about the masculine. And then what do we do? As we are raising the children, what do we do? Think about it. When do we pay attention to them as parents? If you're parents watching this, you have busy lives and children play, and when do you give them attention? Think about that question. It's a very important question. When do you really give them attention? Say a child is having a problem, and then you go, okay, 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 child, you got to solve the problem. That's when you pay the attention. Suppose your child is having a very blissful moment. You went to a park and suddenly they got into that emptiness space. And you could sense it that the child is having this amazing moment. They're just watching. Those are the times when the children are silent, is the time to pay attention to the children. Because if you encourage that, then the child will go, oh, mom really loves me when I'm like this, when I'm silent, enjoying the flowers, enjoying the clouds and the mountains. That's when a parent comes and holds their hand and they just smile and they sit with them. No word spoken, just kind of hold their hand, or put your hand on their shoulder and just sit with them. And as you do that, you are recognizing, you're acknowledging that this beautiful, blissful moment that you're having is precious, is what life is all about. But we don't do that. We get so focused on school, and even in play we get focused on competition, that you have to win, win, win. And how do we define victory? Your child doing better than somebody else's child, your team winning. All of that is masculine. Why can't play be about fun? Why can't we tell them, give your 100% when you play? When somebody's bowling that cricket ball and you are batting, there should be nothing else but you just see that ball coming on your bat. Like Arjuna, when he would do he would strike with his arrow, that he would only see his goal. That much concentration, 100%. That is what we should be teaching, not that you should win the match. That hardly matters. What matters is whether you are connecting completely, 100% in that moment. So anything that we're teaching children these days gets kind of polluted by the spirit of competition. Whether they're studying, you got to come first. Whether they're playing, you have to win. All that masculine energy, and slowly they become like us, our copies, and slowly we've destroyed them. They had much potential to enjoy those blissful moments, and that bliss was connecting them with their bodies, with their soul, with their higher self. They had a natural guidance system working, which would have told them that no, you should become an artist, you should become an engineer. There was a natural guidance system at work, but we start disconnecting them because we make mind as the sole important way of living life. Mind is masculine. Mind meaning thinking mind, not empty mind. Thinking mind, analyzing mind, that's very masculine. Soul and your emotions, your the emotion part of your mind, which is feelings, that's feminine. So many times it used to be, at least in my time, that they would treat boys and girls differently. If you're a boy, that you could not cry, those messaging that was going on. So then the boys learn to repress their emotions, and no wonder there are no deva circles happening so much, because a lot of the men have been trained to not share emotions. So you tell a lot of men, why don't you create a deva circle and you should meet every 2 weeks, and it doesn't appeal so much. But with women it appeals because we don't give that messaging so much to women. So our culture, our parents, when we are raising children, we are paying attention to the wrong things. Yes, you have to succeed in life, you have to get a job, but why can't we teach them, give 100%? Give 100% of yourself. Your full body should be there when you're playing a sport. When you're studying, your heart should be in it, not just your mind. What do you love? What subject do you love? Can your heart be in it totally? Can you make even maths very exciting for them? Can you get those kind of teachers which can make maths fun? There are teachers like that. There was a famous teacher that a movie was made on, Super 30. How many of you have seen Super 30? Yeah. So there was his name is also Anand sir. I'm actually working with him in a company called Seven Classes. And the founder of that company was the prodigy of Anand sir. And he was such an inspiration, to these students who would, get IIT admissions, and there's a whole movie you've seen. So where are those teachers who can teach maths in a fun way? So I'm talking about the beginning, about childhood, because that is when we start destroying the feminine. We get obsessed with competition, grades. Our whole schooling system is based on grades. There are systems in the world where they don't give grades, where you there are schools like Waldorf schools and other schools that are based upon getting to know the child, and different children grow at different speeds, and there's an environment of love and caring. So our whole system of raising children in the family, which is our the time the child is with the family and outside in the school is very competition driven, and that is where we teach them masculine. So masculine, feminine, what's going on? Is all of masculine bad? Is all of feminine good? No. So what Lakshmi ji does in the book Thousand Seeds of Joy, she says she makes it two by two. So divine is on one axis, divine and wounded, and masculine, feminine. So what do you get? You get two by two, you get four categories. So you have divine feminine, you have wounded feminine, you have divine masculine, you have wounded masculine. Where are we spending most of our time? When we have that kind of childhood, those blissful moments when you were becoming one with the flowers, nobody paid attention to those. So as a child, your parents just, were always, what nowadays it's been a little different. So your generation is probably at a better time. So, but if the parents were very disciplining and just emphasizing studying all the time, then you forgot about the here and now. All that was gone. You just got obsessed with, you got to memorize these and you got to, you know, do well on the exams, and even in sports, you got to win. So the masculine was just emphasized so much that you started losing touch with your divine feminine. Where did this come from? This is wounded masculine that the society and the parents give to you. It's wounded masculine. This wounded masculine has been coming from about 6,000 years ago. Lakshmiji says around 6,500 years ago. Uh, Before that, even the word for the supreme, the divine, was a goddess. There was no word like God in any culture. This has been researched. You can read a book, the name is When God Was a Woman. There's a book called that. And that book actually gives you evidence that 6,000 years ago, there was nothing such as the word God. It was only goddess because woman naturally creates as a mother. So those people used to think God must be like a goddess, right? So back then, it was all feminine. Of course, there was, you had problems even then, but it was a much more feminine world. From that feminine world came agriculture, and people who did agriculture, uh, they had surplus food. So what would they do with the surplus food? Some people were free. Those people who were free could become philosophers or could be in military. If you were just only hunter gatherers, you didn't have free time. Nobody could be a philosopher. Nobody could be could join a military. Now some people with agriculture could produce all the food, so then there was surplus labor available. So then you had great academic institutions, which was good, but then you also had militaries, and then came these civilizations from Egyptian and Roman and Persian and all of those, and then ending up at British, just conquering, and with industrial revolution, there was more emphasis on the mind. And yeah, mind does do things. It has done made thy life a lot better. But has it? Do you really feel you are happier today on a daily basis than somebody was 2,000 years ago who had surplus food and who had maybe moderate temperature to live in? They were not suffering with too much cold or heat. Do you think your life is better? Seriously? Are you feeling those blissful moments all the time? Who knows? Maybe 2,000 years ago, if you were living in moderate temperature and if you had enough food, maybe you were a lot more enjoying the nature like animals do. Animals today are the same as they were 2,000 years ago. Agree? They would not be in a different place, right? But look at the animals today. Look at how aware they are. When a dog comes, anybody who has a pet dog, you know how loving they are, right? That soul feeling of love just goes in their body. Some people say if you want to learn about love, forget all this nonsense with human beings, just get a dog. Just completely surrender and you'll learn about love. Dogs can teach you love, right? So animals have that. We also had it 2,000 years ago. So that bliss was there. But slowly, patriarchy came And with patriarchy, with all of the emperors and civilizations and industrial revolution and science and the expansion of science, we just lost our connection with the heart. Otherwise, you look at our systems, the medical system, it's all money driven. The political system, all money driven. The military industrial complex, all money driven. We don't know why we are fighting wars, maybe because some companies becoming rich. We don't know why we are taking a drug, maybe some medical companies becoming rich. We just don't know. Maybe it is good, maybe it is bad, but it's all mixed up today because the mind is just infected. Ambition, ambition, ambition. And capitalism is not going to cure that. Only meditation and awareness will. Only if you become aware, you will be okay. What does my body need? If you start breathing, you become aware of your body. Then when you take a drug and the drug doesn't make you feel good, you're aware, okay, it does not good for my body. I'll take something else. If you're not aware of your body, only if you're just living in your mind, then what happens? You're just giving into these capitalist systems and you become like a robot. In communism, you live with too much fear. In capitalism, you live with too much greed. Everybody's trying to outdo everybody with their big houses and cars and this and that, but it's just that greed. What happened to that flower you used to enjoy as a child? What happened to those blissful moments? How many of you are feeling those blissful moments? Not in meditation, but generally. Do you all remember your childhood? Does anybody remember like some amazing, there's that song also by Jagjit Singh, which is about, ye daulat bhi le lo, ye shohrat bhi le lo. Remember that song? And he just wants to go back to his childhood, right? Ye kagaj ki kashti, ye barish ka pani. Remember that song? That is the what he's talking about is the bliss he used to feel. And we've forgotten that so much that we don't even, now that I'm talking about it, some of you don't even remember what I'm talking about. Okay, we had a childhood, so what? But no, if you go deep, you'll remember uh, what was, I'll give you an incident. When I first experimented with breath workshops, I did Art of Living workshop many years ago. And there was this Kriya, Sudarshan Kriya. And on the third day, the night after the third day, I woke up. And I woke up with the most sweet sleep I'd had in years and years. I'd forgotten that sleep. And that breath had done that to me. For 3 days, breathing like intensely suddenly got me to that. And it went so deep that suddenly I remembered, like flashbacks came. And I write about those moments in my book on how spiritual my childhood was. I literally used to have amazing, blissful moments and always dying to go out into the mountains and nature. My family would be all the time, he wants to be out, because anytime I would be out, I would start connecting with the trees and mountains and all of that. And there was this indescribable feelings would come, which are not like, what you call the joy of eating an ice cream or whatever. And so those feelings I'd forgotten for some time, and suddenly I started remembering all those feelings. There was a whole world I used to live in, and that world was forgotten because the society, I was dependent on my parents, and I have a lovely mother and great father, but still, they were also driven by studies and this and those pressures, and school was all the way it is, and how we all grow up. Nobody tells us that the bliss you were experiencing is the entire meaning of life. Nobody tells us this. We just forget about that. So if you feel those blissful moments, you will find even your eyes will reflect it. Your eyes will also be a little moist because that joy, those fluids are everywhere in the body. When you'll see an enlightened person, even their eyes will have that glistening quality. You'll feel it, because all the energies are flowing all the time. You are living in that bliss. But we're not living in that bliss, we're living in the head. So, at a fundamental level, Wounded masculine destroys divine feminine. Now, what do? We learn meditation. Meditation is like silence of meditation is like divine masculine. Just silence, just going into breath, emptiness, nothingness. Just very stable. There's a structure there. You sit in a pose, you do it, a disciplined thing. That's like what Buddha gave us, what Shiva gave us. These are the divine masculine gifts. There is a divine feminine way of spirituality also. That starts mixing your meditation with your body sensations, with your soul feelings. If you're a Buddha on the Theravada path, discipline, meditating, discipline, monk, meditating. That's more like the Theravada path. Then the Buddhism evolved into Mahayana path, which was love, emptiness and love of the heart. Eventually, it came to Vajrayana path, which is what Thousand Seeds of Joy is the closest to. And Vajrayana path joins everything. All your body sensations, even when you're eating, it's like a spiritual event happening. When your taste buds, you're totally flowing with it. And you infuse a lot of prayer, joy, love in that food. So you eat with so much soul that food completely nourishes you. So ultimately, the divine feminine way of meditating is a little bit different. Divine masculine is structured, focused, focus on the breath, keep doing that. Divine feminine way of meditating is all inclusive. Every moment is meditation. Like that child, when you're children and you're outside and you're with the mountains, you're in that divine feminine flow. Your body is totally included, your soul is totally included, your mind is empty, your heart is full, your soul is in bliss, and there is a connection to divine beings. All is happening at the same time with divine feminine. Buddha would say, even Buddha, I think, said this, but I think definitely Dalai Lama said this. And I think it goes back to Buddha also. There was this all conversation that went on for a long time that do you need to be in Buddhism, even now there's a belief in Bhutan and Tibet, you need to incarnate in a man's body to get enlightened. Some of the goddesses in Devi circle that we are connected with, Goddess Tara, Goddess Kuan Yin, they have stories from their childhood when they were in physical realms that they took a vow that they'll get enlightened as in female bodies. Yeshe Syogal was another one. So then who is right? I mean, you would think doesn't matter, body doesn't matter, right? Man, woman, how does it matter, right? That's what you would think. And mostly that is true. It doesn't matter. But Dalai Lama would say this, that if a woman completely dedicates herself to self realization, generally what happens is a woman is multitasking. So she's busy a little bit more with children and also with work. So she's spread out. A man is typically less involved a little bit with the multitasking aspect because their brain is built different, so they are focused, right? So generally, women are so multitasking they don't completely focus on themselves. But even Dalai Lama would say that if the woman completely focuses on herself, she has an advantage in getting enlightened much faster than a man. Only issue is that men focus on themselves more in the history, and women have raised children and they've gotten busy and they've had responsibilities and all that. But if women decide to just completely go into these matriarchal temples and become priestesses, it's very fast. That's one of the reasons. I'm not saying, I don't want to sound like, oh, woman is better, man is better. No, nothing like that. But I'm saying there is no disadvantage to be in a woman's body. If anything, there's an advantage when it comes to spirituality. because this way of connecting with body, with soul, with higher self, and with empty mind, not just breath work. Breath work is happening, but the dog is barking, feeling the emptiness in the dog's barking. There is something else happening, feeling patience and joy with that also. Many things are happening around in your life. And to feel compassion and to feel the bliss with everything, with your body, with your mind, with all the everyday problems, the feminine energy can do that easier. Man also has a feminine energy, and they can also use it. But the women bodies are just more connected in some ways because they give childbirth. So they're just more in tune with their bodies. Nature has made that. So there's no disadvantage, which is still there in Buddhism. There's an advantage, not disadvantage. So, of course, we were talking about wounded masculine destroying divine feminine. Then once divine feminine is destroyed, then you know, the whole thing falls apart. So where do we start? I would say you start in both places: divine feminine, divine masculine. Divine feminine is connection with everything, the flow of life. Divine masculine is stability, little discipline, focus. So if you tell yourself, I'll wake up every day at 5:30 in the morning and I'll meditate, that's divine masculine. Okay. You need both a little bit of discipline and then complete surrender, complete connection. That little bit of discipline will help you because it'll create enough time for you to just flow with the mountains and rivers. At least you need time to meditate. And if you don't create a little discipline in your life, you won't find the time. You'll just get too busy. Some people say, I'm too busy to meditate. It's not that they're too busy to meditate, they just have not planned their time properly. There's enough time when they are doing nothing. They're just procrastinating, thinking what I'll do next, what I'll do next, what I'll do next. They're just wasting away their time. That's the wounded masculine. So be in the divine masculine, create a little discipline, a little structure that gives you freedom to explore the divine feminine. And you can do both. And those are the ways to get beyond wounded feminine, wounded masculine, which is this patriarchal energy of competition, aggression. And then the last thing that we have not talked about is wounded feminine. So two by two, right? So wounded feminine is feeling powerless. I don't have any power. Wounded feminine is feeling loveless. Nobody loves me. Wounded feminine is feeling joyless. I don't have joy in my life. So wounded feminine is like, I am ugly. I'm this. I'm self-judgment. Or having jealousies or that kind of stuff. Wounded masculine is a lot of aggression, violence, and I am the everybody listen to me, and anger, hate. So these wounded masculine, wounded feminine, we have to get beyond this into divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay. And the mind is the place where wounded lives. Body is the place where you can start finding both the divine masculine and divine feminine. The discipline part of the body is divine masculine. The joy part of the body, joy in all different ways, is the divine feminine. You need both, and both can help each other. If you do a little yoga, that's divine masculine. But once you do a little yoga, you'll feel a certain joy arising in your body, you know, and flowing with that joy, with music, with tasting food, with all your five senses, completely surrendering to them, completely having gratitude for that is divine feminine. So, in a way, it's very simple. We just have to start somewhere. Doesn't matter where you start. Many people just start with a little breath work. That's divine masculine. And then that becomes their pathway to find everything. Just start somewhere. Just turn the attention inward. And wherever divine feminine lives, divine masculine lives. Like they say now about Radha and Krishna. If you want to find Krishna, find Radha, and he'll obviously be there because he is where Radha is. They say that about him, right? This is true. in a relationship, if there's a couple, if one person takes any role, whether divine feminine or divine masculine, the other will follow. And when one person becomes wounded masculine, the wounded feminine will follow. And doesn't matter, husband could be playing wounded feminine. Husband doesn't have to be playing wounded masculine. He could be the one, nobody loves me and I am good for nothing and this and that, and that would be the wounded feminine. And the wife could be very aggressive and, let's say, more angry and hateful. That would be the wounded masculine. It could be anyway, but the energies will attract each other. So let's say let's say an example, there's a couple, there's a one man and one woman in this couple, and one of them is always absent minded, never pays attention, okay, lost in their head all the time. And the more this person is lost in their head, the more the other person starts nagging and starts getting angry and hating this person. Wounded masculine, not focused and lost, procrastinating, all of that, attracting wounded feminine. They attract each other. Similarly, divine masculine, divine feminine, they'll attract each other. So it doesn't matter what your path, how it starts. Start somewhere, but turn to the divine. Turn away from the mind, thinking, emoting, ego. Go into the body, into the breath, into your soul, into love, into joy, into compassion, into patience, into gratitude, into forgiveness, into, truth, honesty, all of the soul feelings, which are infinite, which reduce your ego, expand your awareness. Body and soul are the ways to turn into divinity, not the mind. And it's experiential. So science all built with the mind because it's not experiential. You just got to come up with equations, and there's nothing to be felt in the body. So, so science can make you accumulate things, but if you want to have the juice of life, then you have to turn inward. Start with the breath. Start with your body. Start with dancing. Start with walks in the park. Start with 3, 4 acts of kindness. Make a list. Today I'll be, do something nice to people around me. Small things. You were in a taxi, he was not expecting a tip. You gave him 10 rupees extra. Look at that smile on their face. To you, that 10 rupees may not matter. To that taxi driver, it made his day. Small, small things like that. There's so many things you can do, small, small things, which is just, it's just some small acts of unexpected kindness, that will open your heart. So it's not just watching your breath. Doing anapanasati is also good. That's divine masculine. But then divine feminine spirituality is every moment of your 24 hours. Even in your sleep, you could do this. You could set an intention in your sleep before you go to sleep that I will remember each and every dream. Set the intention. I will understand every message of my dream. Set the intention before you go to sleep. Then, when you wake up, you will remember the dream and you will get the message. Because then you've activated a part of you that's even working in your sleep. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share. We could just go on and on. I just wanted to give a little flavor of this divine feminine, divine masculine, um, wounded feminine, wounded masculine. These topics are there covered more in my book, in our book, Thousand Seeds of Joy. And I always want to show my gratitude to Brahmshri Patriji. He's he's been such a blessing. He's created this beautiful path that we're seeing here, the Divine Feminine Sangha, and the book has now come out in multiple languages because of him. So we're very thankful, and we are like completely like in partnership, sister organization. We have Path of Joy. We have these workshops. I can even mm, should I share my screen? I can maybe even show you. We have these workshops under Devi Circle, which is like Divine Feminine Sangha. And um, let me hold on. So this is Devi Circle. We have all these workshops. We have all these processes with different goddesses. So there's Lakshmi ji. There's a workshop that happened with her. This was in month of October. Sorry, Saraswati ji was in October. Devi Mind. Then we had Devi Heart in November on Diwali. Then we had Devi Shakti. This was in December on Kartikeya Purnima. Then we had a course with Mary Magdalene, which was, this is an interesting course, honoring the body temple. This is where it's very divine feminine. Because as patriarchy came, we stopped exploring this area of our bodies and our soul. The womb, the childbirth, the different cycles, the menstrual cycles, all of these issues are covered in such depth in this workshop. It is like, you know, highly recommend this, this, the, and womb is like, the new wisdom that is coming is, heart is like the sun. The womb is like the invisible sun. Anybody wants to know what's the invisible sun? The black hole. The black holes at the center of galaxies, they are thousands and billions of times bigger than the suns. And the suns also revolve around them. And these are places where everything comes together and magic happens. Science breaks down in the black hole. We go beyond physics. And this is why some of the goddesses, I'm sharing some wisdom with you here. Mary Magdalene, why Jesus could do miracles. Kuan Yin has said this too. Womb is the place of magic. When people do miracles, it comes from the Hara center. It comes from your womb consciousness. Like if you really, really want to shift time and create miracle in your life, heart is great, but complete connection of heart with the womb, the second chakra and fourth chakra, completely combine them and connect with the Hara center, then you can create magic. So this is like workshop. Then we had not yet had Goddess Gaia workshop. Kuan Yin, we had a workshop with her. She's a Buddhist goddess. Then we had Devi meditation with Adi Parashakti and other goddesses. And then we had a Tara workshop. So just wanted to share this. We are like Divine Feminine Sangha. We're completely happy to collaborate. We can send our, whoever we know to your workshops. This is a time of collaboration. Like how
Exactly.
Patri ji is like the master at this.
Yes.
I bow to him for that. He connects all the masters of the world.
Yes. And I think that is very, very important as divine feminine. So the
Yes.
collaboration with everyone is very, very important. Or sharing the knowledge. It's not just like I own this knowledge or and you own this knowledge. It's all about sharing. And divine feminine is all about sharing. And we would be very happy and glad to collaborate with you, sir. And
Would
so
love
amazing workshops to see. Definitely, we would love to collaborate and love to do
anytime,
this.
because we're
Workshops.
non-profit. Path of Joy Foundation is completely non-profit, and I even stay in the background in Path of Joy, because
Oh,
it's not about our amazing women teachers, and there are about 16 of them, and they
okay.
do the teachings. I don't do the teachings there. I'm just writing my next book with Parvati.
Okay.
So these women are amazing from all over the world:
Wow.
Europe, America, Australia. Saroja ji is there, Dipti ji is
Oh
in
yeah.
from
Okay.
PSSM. And we have
Oh,
some Ananda Devi, the music you might have heard of hers. So all these
yeah.
amazing teachers are there. Join our workshops and completely happy to Suti ji is also watching. She is our managing director at Path of Joy, and she's very amazingly she's leading this whole organization. So yeah, come there and we'd be happy to hear about the Divine Feminine Sangha, and let's create circles of these women circles, Devi
Yes.
circles we're
Yeah.
talking about. And our first Lakshmi circle is starting on July 13th. There'll be a description on the website. how to
Okay.
run 2 hours inspired by Lakshmi ji. Then
Oh,
another 2 weeks later, we could do how to run a Devi circle inspired by Saraswati ji. Another one
okay.
could be with Parvati ji. And this way,
Wonderful.
you're told for 2 hours what to do. First five
Okay.
minutes you do this, then you watch this music, then you do this heart sharing and this and that. And these are mind blowing. They're so much fun because
Oh,
women
okay.
naturally come together. You can
Yeah.
discuss your family issues. What stays in the circle stays in the circle. You have an agreement. And when
Okay.
women come together from heart energy,
Mhm.
oh, it's like the whole universe is present then.
Yes.
They're like a force.
True.
The only reason women don't succeed together is they get in the mind, like men. But if their hearts come together, nobody can stop them.
Yeah. The
They're very,
whole world will be transformed if women
yeah.
come together. That is what I completely believe. Yeah.
So any
True, sir.
question answers, anything? Because I've gone on a little bit long.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to finish it in 1 hour, right?
My dear friends, if you have any questions or any comments, you can raise your hands or you can just put it in the chat window. Um, yeah. So before taking the questions, just a couple of words. Actually, in Divine Feminine Song also, we are doing a lot of workshops like self-love, and our main workshop is about Navaratri Akhanda Dhyanam. So that happens for 9 days, 24 by 7, 9 days completely. So it's a very big program. So many speakers across the world come together. They talk on the goddess energies and like all different topics like self-love, everything related to divine feminine and transforming themselves, and different meditations and connecting to different goddesses. That happens every year. I think this will be the third year. So and other programs like vegetarianism workshops. We did few 41-day vegetarianism workshops because our main intention is to spread vegetarianism also, as our Guruji Brahmashi Patriji always tells about vegetarianism. And we did a few self-love and mirror workshops and accepting divine feminine. And especially in our current society, there's a lot of learning. If you want to become a doctor or engineer, we study for 14, 16 years. But if you want to become a parent, there's nothing like that. So we uh, yeah, we do a lot of workshops for sorry, there's some background noise. uh, yeah, team, can you just check and unmute them, please? Yeah, thank you. um, so for different areas of a woman's life, from childhood to till menopause, so we are doing a lot of workshops, sir. Yeah, I think there are some yeah, sorry, I think there's some background noise. I don't know from where it is coming. Oh, that's strange. Even if I mute everyone, it's coming from somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Now it's gone. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Yes, my dear friends, you can raise your hands. Yes, Sailusha, you can unmute yourself.
Are you hearing, ma'am? Are you able to
Yes.
hear my voice?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Sailusha.
it's really a wonderful session. I'm very much eager. 2 days back, I released a thought that to I'm actually following Saroja ma'am's 1,000 tips of joy session. So ma'am saying that we are planning to talk to Anand Karunesh, sir, but I'm much more eager to talk to him early. Now
We lost her.
I am to talk to him. Thank you very much, Sir Pranahita ma'am. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sailusha. That's yeah, we could hear you. We just lost you for a bit, but we could hear you. That's good
Yeah,
to
ma'am.
know.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, namaste, Anand Karunesh sir. I'm feeling a great day. I just want to jump here, but I can't. So actually, there is a great transformation in my life after hearing 2000 Feet of Joy. And now we are discussing about Yashodhara and the Buddha topic, sir. So just before 4 months only, I started hearing 1000 Feet of Joy, but there is a great transformation in my life. There is a deep awakening that had happened in me. So I used to listen 1000 Feet of Joy 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night, while preparing cook, while doing the food preparations and all the time. So whenever I listen the wisdom, I get a deep kind of a peaceful mind. My mind becomes so peaceful, and sir, I got connected to Mahadevi Lakshmi, and I felt very very happy with this wisdom, sir. And my joy knows no bounds, sir. And at the preface you mentioned about that you asked Mahalakshmi to accompany to accompany with you for going to the party. So how you felt that time? In your body, did you feel there are any changes in your energies? Is there anything like that? Because everyone saw you like a beautiful woman from the sky or from the heaven to the down to the earth. So, do you find any change in yourself at that time? And one more question is from the Yashodhara Mata and Buddha story. And Yashodhara Mata says that when Buddha left from the palace and from the kingdom, Yashodhara Mata says that uh, uh, her self enlightenment has been started from when Buddha left from the palace and the kingdom. And the Mata also said that there is a balance between the fire and the air element in her. So I didn't got that point actually. I'm having a little bit question on it. And I'm really very thankful, and I don't know how to say gratitude to you. And I really love your wisdom, sir. One more question is when your second book is about to come, Thousand Flowers of Joy, how much time does it take? I'm having a great day the time with that wisdom, sir. I really love that. I really love that. Thank you very much, Anand Karunesh, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the three questions, and I'll take them one at a time. So, yeah, your first question, about the experience I had when which is mentioned in the preface, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, that experience, as I say in the book, I was at my house and I have a kind of a goddess temple like house. Every room you go, there's some beautiful, elegant goddess imagery and all of that. So I love my house in that spiritual sense. So I was looking at Lakshmi ji and I kind of like this is a Halloween party. Halloween parties are costume
Yeah.
parties, and it's all about they put ghosts out there, they put all kinds of weird outfits. It's about kids having fun, and all trick or treating, and all of that. So but they were having a party, so I dressed up as an Indian prince, and I put this little Indian hat kind of thing, and I was looking at Lakshmi ji and I just kind of joked with her, why don't you come with me to the party? It'll be fun. And normally I don't do that. So normally I don't do that, but she would always tell me that she's always around me, right? And I would feel her energy, but I'm not
Yes, sir.
clairvoyant. I don't see her face like some psychics, they see the face. I'm not clairvoyant. I can feel the energy. So
Okay.
I was standing there at the fireplace and I was very happy. And when you're happy, that's when the divine beings are in you. That whole evening I was like in joy. I was very happy. And so when she told me this, I just burst out in laughter because I said, today's the only day when I asked Lakshmi ji to come with me to the party. So then when I was channeling with her, she said, look, you did never believed, you used to say, I used to always tell you that I'm always around you. And you used to say, I don't see you. So here's a proof. So, she was She was like joking with me that, that I am around. It's energetic. It's basically psychic gifts are there or not there. These are like our gifts, like you get a body. Some people are born this way, that way. So psychic gifts don't make you spiritual or not spiritual. They're just there. Animals have psychic gifts too, right? So what makes you spiritual is how much you've surrendered to your body and your soul. Some people can be talking to goddesses and they're in their ego when they're not talking. So
Okay.
spirituality is different from being psychic. So some people say they're clairvoyant doesn't mean that they have the spiritual wisdom. Spiritual wisdom will be when you see this invisible joy in them, when you see compassion flowing out, when you see a lot of patience, when you see them caring for everybody, when you see them in a healthy body, you see all those signs. That's when you know this is a spiritual person. But if somebody says, I'm writing a book with Lakshmi, doesn't make you spiritual or not spiritual. So remember that. Your spirituality is not the measure, your psychicness is not the measure of your spirituality. So that was the first question. Second question is about Yashodhara,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
with Yashodhara, what happened, what we received was she was much more connected to Buddha at a soul level than either of them realized. And when they were together, they were more in the mind. So, like, ping pong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they were like, Buddha was always like, I want to leave. I want to, like, like the normal thing that in today's time, Buddha would be like, a candidate for some help from a psychologist. He was seriously depressed, like he was with all these thoughts of pain and all that.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't mean I'm saying something negative about Buddha. That means I'm saying something negative about today's times. Some people who go through depression are going through spiritual awakening, but we give them drugs. We should not. Sometimes when people go through a little depression, we should encourage spirituality because that's a time of birthing, that's a time of transformation. you know. So what happened to Buddha was beautiful, happens today also, but we drug them up. That's not good. But anyway, going back to Buddha, he was like that, before his marriage. After they separated, the soul came into play and they were both telepathic. They got connected,
Yes,
and
sir.
she was literally living his life in the palace. She created a little hut around her palace. She also changed her clothing. And as he was getting enlightenments, she was getting enlightenments. They both were enlightened. When he walked into the palace, she was enlightened. When he came, he didn't even see her. He was so connected to her. He went to see his father. His father invited him, and they were both in that bliss. So there is that little misinterpretation that he enlightened her. She was sending him messages too, and they would have these conversations which were not just about spiritual subjects, about their relationship and sweet matters and all of that. So their relationship grew in love, in separation. So another message for people who are separating for whatever reasons, because you can't live under the same roof or you're getting a divorce or whatever you're doing, separating, divorcing, whatever, do it with a lot of love. You can live separately because you can't live together, but try to do it with love. End your relationship with love, because then you will have a Buddha Yashodhara type relationship. You know, then you'll start. Many people, they separate and they become great friends. Have you seen that in the new generation? Sometimes when they were together, they were fighting. As soon as they separated, they'll start saying, "Oh, my ex-wife is my best friend." Some people say this too, and that happens because they get that distance, they get that aloneness they need. So there are multiple meanings of this. The main meaning is that physical separation doesn't create, separation. Your souls are completely connected, and they both were enlightened together. And Yashodhara was amazing in her the divine. This is the divine feminine way. The divine feminine ways, I can be in the palace also, I can be with my child also, I can be eating, I can be taking care of my child, and still I'm having openings, getting enlightened. It's the divine masculine that needs to sit on a mountain for 5, 10 years. Divine feminine can be like Parvati, like she can be with life and get enlightened as you're living. So that's the second question. And the third thing you wanted to ask was the book, Thousand Flowers of Joy, which was the original name for this book. Uh, Still, there's a lot of new wisdom coming about dimensions, about fifth dimension, about energetics. It's just my mind can't even take it sometimes. So I'm like, asking her again, this, that, it's still about at least a year off. It's coming and it'll be the most divine book. It'll be the most amazing book with Parvati ji. I'm that's what I'm doing these days. I don't do workshops myself. I'm just writing the book. Okay. Most welcome.
So thank you so much, Anand sir. And I just want to share two experiences that have happened in my life in divine feminine form. You explained about all the divine feminine qualities, inclusion, unconditional love, and joy, beautifulness, everything you included in that book. So and you also mentioned that the divine feminine forms will be at the three stages: crown, matron, and maid. And so I came to appreciate, and in the book Mata said that if you want to ascend the human beings, you can see me in all the human beings, in the girls or in the boys. So Mata also said that it will be little bit difficult to see her in male persons. And so I tried at the episode, I remember this point. So when I went to gym, I'm able to see the all the girls were in Mata forms, and so I felt it a great joy. But when I tried again, it didn't happen. So whenever I see a sun, I assumed it as a divine feminine for me. You explained it in that book. I found these are very very beautiful, and that the wisdom touched all our hearts, sir. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I will just say this to you, that if you join one of these in-person Devi circles, which we're starting on July 13th,
Yes, sir.
Devi circle means that you come together for 2 hours and then you sit together and you look at each woman. It's only for women and femmes. You look at each woman and you see the Devi in her, whichever Devi you want, Lakshmi, or if there's a Lakshmi circle on that, you'll actually see Lakshmi speaking in every woman. So even if she's expressing her family issues, it's the Lakshmi energy having a human experience. That's how you have to feel it. And it changes everything. Once you start seeing each other as Devis, oh my God, the whole earth can change like this. And it's like quantum physics, You manifest what you see. If you see everybody like Devi, you have increased the chances significantly of them becoming a Devi. So that's why they say don't criticize everybody all the time, because if you keep seeing them as negative, you increase chances of them becoming negative, including your children, including everybody. So try to always see the beauty, the divine in everybody, and you're actually at a quantum level increasing the probability of them becoming divine. That's their choice to make. But if everybody saw them as divine, this even would apply to even somebody like Donald Trump. Say the whole of America for 1 week could meditate and see him as divine, that man would change. It is so powerful. It could happen. But we keep criticizing all the time. So, oh, he did this, he did that. So we live in that, world of, criticism. Otherwise, we're energies, right? So if you project Devi energy, you'll make somebody like into Devi, and they'll make you the Devi. And that's actually the meaning of Devi circle, to somehow manifest Devi energy in all of you.
Wow, amazing. I think she went mute. Yeah. Amazing, Anandji. Actually, that's so beautiful looking everyone as Devis. Actually, in our groups also, we address everyone as Devi. like, yeah, I don't know. I think the wisdom is coming to different people across the world the same time, and very
Anyway,
similar
yeah,
things are happening. So
yeah.
I'm really amazed when you said that. So in all our groups, we just call everyone each one as Devi, and especially during menstruation, because every woman they are like, oh, I got my periods again. They're not really accepting it. So when I channeled Kamakya Devi, all these messages that I got was whenever any woman gets her periods, they'll just share it in the group that I got my periods, and all the other women are like, "Welcome, Devi." So it is as if we are inviting Devi energies, because that is where every human being comes from the same egg. So it is the creation energies. And especially this DFS anniversary, it is celebrated on this particular day, mainly because these 5 days is Kamakya Devi in Assam, 108 Shaktipitas. That's one of the most powerful Shaktipita. The Kamakya Devi herself, the goddess herself, goes into menstruation these 5 days, and the whole of the Brahmaputra river turns into red. So, so that is one of the main reasons celebrate this on this particular day. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Anandaji. Thank you so much for your amazing session. And in the chat window, a lot of people are saying that awesome sharing, sir. Excellent session. We are so happy to have you. Thank you, Master, and so many messages. And of course, there are also a lot of messages because it is my birthday today.
Oh, can we sing a song for you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Parnita ji. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anandaji. So that means a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. So
Best. I
wonderful
just wanted
session.
to say this, what you shared about the menstrual cycles and all that. This is like in the traditional spirituality, which is the mother-based spirituality, coming
Mhm.
from Western cultures, Eastern cultures, every culture.
Yeah.
When God was a woman, uh, this period is very, very spiritual and important. And it used to be called moon cycles because it was even uh, I mean, women when they're together, if the two women living together, their cycles get coordinated too, that they
Coordinated.
from
Exactly with the moon phase,
all that
moon cycle.
and all that.
Mhm.
So women would actually go on these vision quests
Uh-huh.
around this time,
Yeah.
and men would give them that freedom in this time. Families would give them that freedom to just be with themselves.
Yeah.
So 3 4 women would go away, and they
Yeah.
would be with the mountains, and they would be having that experience, and more openness about this, and how you expressed it, how to share it and to celebrate it.
Celebrated.
That
Yes.
is what is so needed, because this is such a spiritual time for a woman. When this happens, there's a great, cleansing and
Yeah.
transformation and receiving and all that. But we've made it so, this is the mind, this wounded masculine, it doesn't know anything but to destroy everything. So this is a very, very special spiritual thing. And in Western cultures, there's this whole movement of what they call the red tent movement. You might have heard
Yeah.
about, which is when the first time the girl has her periods, they, all the mothers, grandmothers, everybody come and celebrate together for
Um,
3 days. They get into that. So they give that different message that
yes.
this is something very, very special, and
Special.
this time is very important for you. It's a spiritual time. So this changes how we feel about our womb, and
Mhm.
how we feel. There's no shame in it. There's more celebration. So
Exactly.
this I 100% agree, and more of this is coming in Parvatiji's book also.
Oh wow, wonderful! We'll be waiting for that. So I think in India, in a lot of cultures they celebrate it, but in the West, not many people celebrate it. I just started interviewing women from across the world, from different countries and different cultures.
Yeah.
So asking about what is their culture and what would they do during these periods, and how the women are accepted in their country, and other things. I just started recently, and the series will be going on from next week. So that's wonderful, sir. So it's really a great
So I'm on.
pleasure, and we're so happy, and great gratitude to you, sir.
Great. So thank you so much, everybody. And it was a pleasure to be with you all. And a very, very big happy birthday to you,
Oh,
Parnita ji.
thank
And,
you. Thank you
and
once again, sir.
we look forward to, with Devi Circle platform also, you're welcome to join any of our workshops, and we'll be running circles. And I think it'll be so much fun to do all this.
Definitely. We will share it in our groups, sir. The
Yeah,
next
I'll
workshop,
send
we'll
you.
take the details from you and we'll share it in our groups.
Great, great, great.
Yeah,
Okay. Namaste,
wonderful.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So my dear friends, we'll have a short meditation. So Telugulo and English lo kuda untundi. So yeah, చాలా మంది బర్త్డే విషెస్ చెప్తున్నారు. ఓకే. మేబీ ఒక 5 మినిట్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ రైజ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్స్ అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు టాక్ ఎనీథింగ్, ఎనీ కమెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ విషెస్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్, జస్ట్ ఫర్ 5 మినిట్స్ విల్ టేక్ ఇట్. అండ్ దెన్ ఈ లోపల ఎవరైనా వాటర్ ఏమైనా తెచ్చుకోవాలి అంటే తెచ్చుకోండి, బికాస్ దిస్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి వెరీ పవర్ఫుల్ మెడిటేషన్. Recently, just 3 days ago, I was just talking with some of my friends, and suddenly completely the energies were changed, and I was hearing this very different sound, and immediately I sat in meditation, and I was channeling this different images and different symbols actually. So different symbols for healing and different very powerful symbols. So of course we know those symbols, but it was so powerful at that time, and I was just sitting for about an hour and a half. So I'll just guide into meditation with those same symbols, and we'll try to connect to those energies, because there are like so many goddesses we're connecting at that moment. So we'll do that meditation. So మిత్రులారా, నాకు జస్ట్ ఒక 2-3 days ముందు ఎవరైనా వాటర్ అవి తెచ్చుకోవాలంటే వెళ్ళి తెచ్చేసుకోండి. ఎవరైనా జస్ట్ కంఫర్టబుల్గా కూర్చోండి. నేను ఒక 5 మినిట్స్లో అలాగా మెడిటేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాము. ఒక 3 days ముందు జస్ట్ ఫ్రెండ్స్తో మాట్లాడుతూ ఉండగా కంప్లీట్గా డిఫరెంట్ సౌండ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ అలా కనెక్ట్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. అలా ఇమ్మీడియట్గా మెడిటేషన్లో కూర్చున్నాను. ఒక 1.5 hour అలాగే కూర్చునిపోయాను. చాలా మంది గాడెసెస్ కనెక్ట్ అవుతూ అండ్ డిఫరెంట్ సింబల్స్ అవి కనెక్ట్ అవుతూ ఎంతో పవర్ఫుల్గా అనిపించింది. సో ఒక 1/2 hour అలా ఉంటుంది అంతే. సో మనం ఒక 20 minutes to 1/2 hour మెడిటేషన్ చేద్దాము. సో అందరు కూడా కంఫర్టబుల్గా వాటర్ అవి తెచ్చుకోవాలంటే వాటర్ తాగేసి రండి. తాగేసి వచ్చేసి ఇంకా మెడిటేషన్లో కూర్చుందాము. And thank you all so much for your lovely wishes on my birthday. చాలా మంది ఇక్కడ మెసేజెస్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పటి నుంచి. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఫర్ సెండింగ్ యువర్ లవ్ అండ్ యువర్ విషెస్ టు మీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, if you're ready, we can start the meditation. Maybe we'll just give 1 more minute if you have to drink some water or anything. Someone is asking, can I meditate with open eyes? Yeah, someone. Yes, you can meditate with open eyes. Kani, with open eyes, just look for few minutes, and automatically if you feel like closing it, just close your eyes, okay? But if you are having specs, please remove your specs. Someone has raised Shailusha.
Yeah, ma'am. Namaste, Pranahita, ma'am. Very happy birthday to you. మీరు ఇలాంటి సెషన్స్ ఇంకా ఎన్నో చేయాలని చాలా చాలా కోరుకుంటా ఉన్నాము. అండ్ నేను నా లైఫ్ లో చాలా స్ట్రగుల్ గా ఫీల్ అయినప్పుడు నేను మీతో మాట్లాడాను 1.5 year బ్యాక్. సో యూ సజెస్టెడ్ మీ టు ఆస్క్ అ క్లూ ఫ్రమ్ ద యూనివర్స్. ఐ గాట్ అ గ్రేట్ క్లూ ఫ్రమ్ ద యూనివర్స్, అండ్ టోటల్ మై లైఫ్ గెట్ డీవియేటెడ్ అండ్ ఐఎమ్ ఇన్ అ వెరీ గుడ్ పాత్. అండ్ మీరు నాకు స్ట్రగుల్ హెల్త్ ఇష్యూస్ సంథింగ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మీరు మిర్రర్ వర్క్ చేయని సజెస్ట్ చేశారు. సో ఆ మిర్రర్ వర్క్ చేయడం వల్ల నా లైఫ్ లో చాలా ట్రెమెండస్ చేంజ్ వచ్చింది. ఇట్ ఆల్ హ్యాపెన్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యూ. యూ హెల్ప్ మీ అ లాట్ ఇన్ మై హార్డ్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ ఇన్ మై లైఫ్, మ్యామ్. జస్ట్ టు సే కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వెరీ గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ టు యూ, I raise my hand. Thank you very much for supporting people like me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Elisha. And it really means a lot, because sometimes like many people, I also wonder, is it really helping people? Because I take a lot of time and I share things. Is it really helping people? Or there are so many people out there who are sharing things, but only people like you who come back to me, and if you share things like that, then like, okay, fine, at least I'm making some difference. So that's really good. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You are creating a great difference. I'm not a simple difference, great difference. And you are giving us a great wisdom on feminine అంటే menstruation గురించి కానీ, ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ రిలేటెడ్ ఇష్యూస్ గురించి కానీ చాలా keen గా అంటే పర్టికులర్ గా ఆ విషయం గురించి మీరు ఫోకస్ చేయడము, మేము దాని నుంచి ఎంతో జ్ఞానాన్ని తెచ్చుకోవడము మా లైఫ్ లో కూడా చాలా చేంజెస్ అయితే ఉన్నాయి మ్యామ్. ప్లీజ్ కంటిన్యూ అండ్ విత్ గ్రేట్ జాయ్. మీరు ఇలా చాలా సెషన్స్ చేయాలని, మీరు ఎప్పుడు ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండాలని. చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
Thank you, Sailisha. Thank you. Okay, my dear friends, I hope everyone is ready, drinking their water and sitting in a comfortable posture. So నేను తెలుగులో ఇంగ్లీష్లో రెండు మిక్స్ చేసి చెప్తూ ఉంటాను. ఎవరికైనా పర్టికులర్గా తెలుగు రాదు లేకపోతే ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు. సో యా, జస్ట్ శారద గారు మాట్లాడుతూ అంటున్నారు. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీథింగ్, యా శారద గారు ప్లీజ్. Sorry, I don't see Sharada Garu. You want to talk something, Andy? Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, my dear friends, completely relax. Relax yourself and sit in a comfortable posture. చక్కగా రిలాక్స్డ్గా కంఫర్టబుల్ పోస్చర్లో కూర్చోండి. మనందరికీ తెలుసు ధ్యానంలో ఎలా కూర్చోవాలో. We all know how to sit in meditation. Just cross your legs, clasp your hands, close your eye, and start observing your natural, normal breath. చక్కగా కళ్ళు మూసుకొని మీ బ్రెత్ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తూ ఉండండి. సుందరి నమస్తస్యై 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 నమో నమః. మనం ఈ ధ్యానంలోకి మన గురువు గారైన బ్రహ్మర్షి పితామహ పత్రిజీ గారి ఎనర్జీస్ని కూడా ఇన్వైట్ చేద్దాము. అలాగే శివుడు మరియు పార్వతి యొక్క ఎనర్జీస్ సౌండ్ ఏమైనా ఎక్కువగా ఉంటే నమస్తస్యై నమస్తస్యై నమో महाकाली भैरवी नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Guruji, Mahamantriji, the energies of Lord Shiva and Shakti, and Goddess Tara, Goddess Mani, Goddess Serana, Goddess Hatha, మిత్రులారా, మరి దేవి దేవతలందరినీ కూడా మనం ఈ ధ్యానంలోకి ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తున్నాము. వారి యొక్క ఎనర్జీస్తో కనెక్ట్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాము. శివశక్తుల ఎనర్జీస్తో మనం అందరి శక్తులతో కూడా మనం కనెక్ట్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాం మిత్రులారా. కంప్లీట్ గా ఓపెన్ గా ఉండండి, ఎటువంటి ఆలోచనలు లేకుండా పూర్తిగా ఈ ప్రాసెస్ లో ఉండండి. My dear friends, completely believe in this process. Be open-minded and believe in this process. Trust the process. We are all connecting to that goddess energies and also Shiva energies. From the top of the head, we are receiving these energies which are entering into each and every cell of our body. కలపై భాగం నుంచి ఎనర్జీస్ మన శరీరంలోని ప్రతి అణువులోకి కూడా వెళ్తున్నాయి మిత్రులారా. శరీరంలోని ప్రతి అణువు కూడా యాక్టివేట్ అవుతుంది ఎనర్జీస్. Each and every cell of our body is getting activated with this wonderful, beautiful energies. Namastasye, Namastasye. And now, my dear friends, visualize the Damaruka or the drum that Shiva holds. If anyone of you on the screen, just open your eyes for a second and you can have a look on the screen. The Damaruka or the drum of the Shiva. It's like two triangles touching each other. One is pointing downwards and one is pointing upwards. These energies of divine masculine and divine feminine connecting with each other. Just visualize this and invite that symbol into your meditation, to your body. Just feel as if that symbol is entering into you. మిత్రులారా, మరి శివుడి చేతిలో అడమరికం ఉంటుంది కదా, దాన్ని గుర్తు చేసుకోండి, విజువలైజ్ చేసుకోండి. ఎవరికైనా గుర్తు రాకపోతే ఒక్కసారి స్క్రీన్ మీద చూడండి, ఒక నిమిషం కళ్ళు తెరిచి అలా చూడండి. ట్రయాంగిల్స్ కింది వైపు ఒకటి పై వైపు చూస్తూ డమరుకం ఎలా ఉంటుందో అలాంటి సింబల్ ఊహించుకుంటూ దాన్ని as you invite that, it is entering into the top, into your body from the top of your head. As it enters, it multiplies. Each and every cell of your body is filled with the symbols. Annapurna Lakshmi Ma. ఆ సింబల్ని మీరు మీ నమస్తస్యే 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 నమో నమః. నీట్గా మీ శరీరం ప్రతి అణువు కూడా అదే ఆకారంగా మారుతుంది. So energetic and so powerful. Kamala Katyayani. There's a very deep meaning behind this symbol. Namastasye, Namastasye, Namastasye. అంటే మీ శరీరం అంతా కూడా ఒక గ్రిడ్ లాగా అన్ని ఈ సింబల్స్ తో నిండిపోయి ఉంది. ఏదైనా విజువలైజ్ చేసుకోలేకపోయిన వాళ్ళు ఒకసారి కళ్ళు తెరిచి స్క్రీన్ మీద చూడండి. నిండిపోయి ఉన్నాయి symbols. If any one of you cannot visualize whole of your body filled with these symbols, please for a second just have a look at these symbols. So in my meditation, clearly saw my whole body is filled with horizontal direction, vertical direction. They're just moving. As they're moving and shrinking, all that is unwanted in my body, health challenges, all shrinking and disappearing. And as it is expanding, happiness, joy, bliss, all the good things in my life are expanding. And I could clearly feel that.
Namastasye, 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 namo namaha.
దగ్గరికి జరుగుతూ దూరం వెళ్తూ ఉంది. దగ్గరికి వస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు నా జీవితంలో కానీ నా శరీరంలో కానీ అనవసరమైనవి ఆరోగ్యం సమస్యలు ఉన్నా లేదా చేసేస్తుంది, చిన్నదిగా చేసేస్తూ దాన్ని కంప్లీట్ గా తీసేస్తుంది అన్నట్టు మీ జీవితంలో అనవసరమైనవన్నీ కూడా తీసేస్తూ కంప్లీట్ గా వాటిని తొలగించేస్తున్నట్టుగా. అది ఎప్పుడైతే ఇలా దూరం వెళ్తుందో
నమస్తస్యే 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 నమో నమః.
మనం చేతులతో దూరం వెళ్తూ దగ్గర వెళ్తూ ఆ సింబల్స్ అన్ని ఇట్లా దగ్గరికి వస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. దగ్గరికి వస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు అనవసరమైనవన్నీ వెళ్ళిపోతూ అవుతూ ఉంది. ఒకసారి మన మైండ్ కి అర్థం కాకపోవచ్చు ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా. కేవలం ఏదో నేను క్రియేట్ చేసింది కాదు, నాకు ఆ ధ్యాన స్థితిలో వచ్చింది కాబట్టి కంప్లీట్ గా ట్రస్ట్ చేస్తూ అలా ఊహించుకోండి. ఊహించుకోవడానికి
నమస్తస్యే 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 నమో నమః.
Intense energies when this was happening to me, my meditations. So just as if closing your hands and getting together in the same way, all these things are coming together to contract everything that is unwanted and disappearing all that is unwanted from your life. And when it is expanding,
Bhagavati Bhargavi.
And also you can also think about what is it that you want to expand in your life. Bliss, all that spiritual side of
Namastasye,
natural side of your abundance. Get your mind completely, just connect with the source. What is it that is stopping in your life? What is it that you really want in your life? It is expanding all that beautiful and higher vibration frequency. Expanding in our lives.
Namaste. Tastasयै namo namaha.
Completely. I'm just repeating it again. As someone was saying that the music is very loud, I decrease the volume. Just let me know if it is loud.
Maya Vishwa Mohini.
My dear friends, I'm just repeating the instructions. Just visualize the drum in the Shiva's hands. That two triangles touching each other, inverted, one pointing downwards and one pointing upwards. Just those symbols. Invite those symbols into your body from the top of your head. As it enters into your body, it multiplies into hundreds and thousands, and each and every cell of your body has now become that symbol itself. And those symbols are not stagnant or static, they are moving. They are moving. As they're all coming together, as they're contracting, everything that is unwanted in your life, all the emotions or any health challenges or anything that is not serving your purpose of life, everything is contracted and completely they are disappearing from your life. And when the symbols are expanding, all the good things in your life are expanding. And you're entering into those high frequencies of joy, happiness, bliss. And good health and abundance. మిత్రులారా, మ్యూజిక్ ఇందాక ఎక్కువగా లౌడ్గా ఉందని మళ్ళీ కంప్లీట్గా రిపీట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. చక్కగా ఆ శివుని చేతిలో ఏదైతే డమరుకం ఉంటుందో ఆ డమరుకం యొక్క ఆ సింబల్ని ఊహించుకుంటూ చక్కగా అది మీ సహస్రారం నుండి మీ శరీరంలోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతూ ఉంది. మీ శరీరంలోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతూనే అది ఎన్నో రెట్లు మల్టిప్లై అయింది. వందలు, వేలు, లక్షలుగా మీ శరీరంలోని ప్రతి అణువు కూడా ఆ సింబల్‌తో నిండిపోతుంది. మరి ఆ సింబల్స్ అలాగే ఉండకుండా అవి అటు ఇటు కదులుతూ ఉన్నాయి. ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. ష్రింక్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. అంటే పెద్దదిగా అవుతూ, చిన్నదిగా అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. మరి ఎప్పుడైతే అవి చిన్నదిగా దగ్గరగా అవుతూ ఉన్నాయో, ఎలా అయితే మనం 2 చేతులు దగ్గరికి తీసుకొచ్చి చప్పట్లు కొడతామో, అలా అవన్నీ కూడా దగ్గరికి అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. అలా దగ్గరగా వచ్చినప్పుడు మీ జీవితంలో ఏదైతే అవసరం లేవో, అనవసరమైనవన్నీ కూడా అలాగే దగ్గరగా వచ్చేసి అవన్నీ కూడా కంప్లీట్‌గా మాయమైపోతున్నాయి. మీ జీవితంలోంచి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి, తొలగిపోతున్నాయి. ఏదైనా సరే, మీకున్న ఆరోగ్యపరమైన సమస్యలవ్వనివ్వండి, ఏదైనా బాధ, కోపము, అనవసరమైన ఏవైనా ఎమోషన్స్ ఉన్న భావోద్వేగాలు కానివ్వండి, ఏవైనా సరే, మీ జీవితంలో అనవసరమైనవన్నీ కూడా అలాగా ష్రింక్ అవుతూ అవన్నీ కూడా వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే మరి అది ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతుందో, ఎలా అయితే మనం చేతులు 2 దూరం తీసుకువెళ్తామో, అలాగ చక్కగా అవి ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే అవి ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయో, మీ జీవితంలో ఉన్న ఆ మంచి, సంతోషము, ఆనందము, మరి సమృద్ధి, ఆ అబండెన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా చక్కగా ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతున్నాయి మిత్రులారా. కంప్లీట్‌గా ఈ ప్రాసెస్‌ని నమ్ముతూ, మీ జీవితంలో ఏదైతే మీరు ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నారో, ఇంకా మీ జీవితంలోకి ఏదైతే ఆహ్వానించాలనుకుంటున్నారో, దాని గురించి చక్కగా ఆలోచిస్తూ, అది మీ జీవితంలో ఇంకా ఇంకా మీరు ఎదుగుతున్నట్టుగా అవన్నీ మీ జీవితంలో ఎంతో సమృద్ధిగా వస్తున్నట్టుగా ఊహించుకోండి మిత్రులారా. కంప్లీట్‌గా ఈ ప్రాసెస్‌ని నమ్మండి. మరి ఇది నేను తయారు చేసింది కాదు. నా మైండ్‌లోంచి వచ్చింది కాదు. కేవలం ధ్యానంలో కూర్చున్నప్పుడు ఈ ప్రాసెస్ వచ్చింది. కాబట్టి సంపూర్ణంగా దీన్ని నమ్ముతూ ఇంకొన్ని క్షణాలు మనం ధ్యానం చేద్దాం మిత్రులారా. సో మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, విల్ మెడిటేట్ ఆన్ దిస్ particular thing for few more minutes. I have not created this. I have not uh, thought about it. It just happened in my meditation. And it was so much bliss when I'm doing this, when this was happening to me. And it was so powerful for me. So I thought I'll just share it with you all to completely trust the process and just go with the flow. Whatever it is happening, just go with the flow by trusting the process. ఇంకా కొన్ని క్షణాలు, few more minutes, my dear friends. In complete silence, just visualizing the same process happening inside you. కేవలం దాన్ని విజువలైజ్ చేసుకోండి మిత్రులారా. అది మీ లోపల మీ 7 శరీరాల్లో కూడా చక్కగా ప్రాసెస్ జరుగుతూ ఉంది. అనవసరమైనవన్నీ వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉన్నాయి. మరి మనకి కావాల్సినవన్నీ కూడా సమృద్ధిగా వస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. వాటెవర్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఇన్ అవర్ లైఫ్స్, completely we are letting go of it. They are releasing. Automatically they are going away with this process, and we are receiving highest frequencies and that abundance into our life. Abundance is not just about money, my dear friends. Abundance is all about feeling that, having that abundant feeling, not only about wealth, but about relationships, but about your happiness, about your health, and every area of your life. చక్కగా ఈ ప్రాసెస్ జరుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు మన లోపల అనవసరమైనవన్నీ కూడా వాటంతట అవే తొలగిపోతూ ఉన్నాయి. కేవలం మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉండాలంతే అవన్నీ కూడా వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉన్నాయి. అలాగే మరి ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ ఎక్స్‌పాన్షన్ జరుగుతుందో మన జీవితంలోకి ఆ సమృద్ధి వస్తూ ఉంది. మరి మిత్రులారా, సమృద్ధి అంటే కేవలం డబ్బు మాత్రమే కాదు. మన జీవితంలో సమృద్ధి, ఆరోగ్యపరంగా సమృద్ధి, ఎంతో ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండడము, అలాగే రిలేషన్‌షిప్స్‌లో చక్కగా ఉండడము, మన కెరియర్‌లో కానీ, ఫైనాన్షియల్‌గా కానీ అన్ని రంగాలలో కూడా చక్కగా సమృద్ధిగా ఉండడమే సమృద్ధి. సో, అలాంటి ఒక సమృద్ధిని ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తున్నాము. కంప్లీట్‌గా మనం ఎక్స్‌పాండ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాము. ఆహ్, ఆధ్యాత్మికంగా గూడా ఎంతో తృప్తిగా, ఎంతో సమృద్ధిగా ఇంకా ఇంకా ఎత్తుకు వెలుగుతూ ఉన్నాము. ఇంకా ఇంకా ఎంతో ఆధ్యాత్మికంగా ఎదుగుతూ ఉన్నాం మిత్రులారా. సో, we are growing spiritually in all areas of our lives. We are growing. We are expanding completely. We are expanding in all areas of our lives. We are completely open to receive that abundance into our lives. And we are ready to let go of all that is unwanted in our lives. Because sometimes, knowingly or unknowingly, we just hold on to those old patterns. But, my dear friends, this is the time for you to let go of all those old and unwanted patterns that are not serving your life anymore. Just let go of it. Once you decide, just that moment, the whole universe will help you to completely get rid of them, to release them, release all those old patterns, and we'll create new patterns in our lives. New energies will invite new energies into our lives. We'll invite those high frequencies, higher energies of joy, abundance, bliss. We'll just invite those into our lives, my dear friends. మిత్రులారా, మనం కొన్ని మన ఓల్డ్ బిలీఫ్ సిస్టమ్స్, ఓల్డ్ ప్యాటర్న్స్ని అలాగా తెలియకుండా పట్టేసుకుని ఉంటాము. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు సంసిద్ధంగా ఉన్నారో, మీకు ఈ విశ్వం అంతా కూడా హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. అలాంటి ఆ ఓల్డ్ ప్యాటర్న్స్‌ని, వాటన్నింటిని కూడా మీరు కంప్లీట్‌గా లెట్ గో చేయడానికి విశ్వం అంతా కూడా మీకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. కానీ మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉండాలి. చెప్పుకోండి, నేను సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నాను ఆ ఓల్డ్ ప్యాటర్న్స్ అన్నీ కూడా రిలీజ్ చేయడానికి. అన్నీ రిలీజ్ చేసి చక్కగా న్యూ ఎనర్జీస్‌ని మనం ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తున్నాం మిత్రులారా. ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ ప్రాసెస్ జరుగుతుందో, ఈ కంప్లీట్‌గా ఈ గ్రిడ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, ఈ డమరుకం షేప్‌లో ఉన్న గ్రిడ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, అది చక్కగా దగ్గరకొస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ లెట్ గో చేసేస్తూ ఉన్నామో, ఆ దూరం వెళ్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు కంప్లీట్‌గా మనం ఓపెన్ అప్ అయ్యి అవన్నీ కూడా రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉన్నాము. So whatever the grid that we are seeing, the triangle grid or the diamond grid, whatever the name that you want to give, the drum of the Shiva. So as it is coming together, when it is contracting everything, we're letting go of everything that is unwanted, and as it is expanding, we're inviting those new energies. We're completely open to invite those new energies. When we are open, the whole universe is ready to shower those blessings on us. It's just that you have to decide. You have to make a choice. Yes, today I make a choice to be happy in my life, to be abundant in my life. మిత్రులారా, మరి మీకే ఉంది ఆ చాయిస్ అనుకోండి. నేను ఎటువంటి చాయిస్ తీసుకుందాం అనుకుంటున్నారు? మరి కంప్లీట్‌గా సమృద్ధిగా, ఆనందంగా ఉండే చాయిస్ కావాలా? మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉండండి. నేను కంప్లీట్‌గా సమృద్ధిగా, ఆనందంగా ఉండే ఆ చాయిస్‌ని మాత్రమే తీసుకుంటున్నాను. అనవసరమైనవన్నీ కూడా నేను వదిలేస్తున్నాను. ఆ పాత ప్యాటర్న్స్ అన్నిటిని వదిలేస్తున్నాను అనుకోండి. Just last 2 minutes, my dear friends, completely feel these energies. ఆఖరి 2 క్షణాలు మిత్రులారా, సంపూర్ణంగా ఈ ఎనర్జీస్‌ని ఫీల్ అవుతూ, ఈ ప్రాసెస్‌ని ట్రస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఇంకొక 2 నిమిషాలు మనం ధ్యానం చేద్దాం మిత్రులారా. చక్కగా మనకి ఈ ధ్యానంలో హెల్ప్ చేసిన, గైడ్ చేసిన ఆస్ట్రల్ మాస్టర్స్ అందరికీ, ఆ దేవి దేవతా శక్తులందరికీ, మరియు ఆ శివ పార్వతులకు, అలాగే ముఖ్యంగా ఆ శివుని డమరుకం యొక్క సింబల్‌కు మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుకుందాము. అలాగే మన గురువు గారైన బ్రహ్మర్షి పితామహ పత్రిజీ గారికి, స్వర్ణమాల పత్రి గారికి కూడా మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుకుందాం మిత్రులారా. చక్కగా కృతజ్ఞతా భావంతో కొన్ని క్షణాలు ధ్యానం చేద్దాము. కృతజ్ఞతా భావంతో మనకి మనం కూడా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుకుందాము. చక్కగా ఇక్కడికొచ్చాము, కూర్చున్నాము, ఎంతో చక్కగా ఈ విజ్డమ్‌ని, ఈ జ్ఞానంని తీసుకుంటూ ధ్యానం చేస్తున్నాము. సో, మనకి మనం కూడా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుకుంటూ కొన్ని క్షణాలు, మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, completely fill yourself with gratitude, and gratitude to all the astral masters who have helped and guided us in our meditation in the whole session, and to all the goddesses' energies, gods and goddesses' energies, and especially to that symbol, the Shiva's drum, and to our Guruji Brahmashpita Mahapatriji and Swarnamala Patriji. Just fill yourself with that gratitude space for a few seconds before opening your eyes. And also a deep gratitude to ourselves because we are here receiving this wisdom and doing meditation. Just filling ourselves with that gratitude space. చక్కగా కృతజ్ఞతా భావంతో మనల్ని మనం కంప్లీట్గా ఫిల్ చేసుకుని whenever you are ready, ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నారో, you can, before opening your eyes, you can just release your hands. కళ్ళు ఓపెన్ చేసే ముందు చక్కగా చేతులు రెండు ఓపెన్ చేసి చక్కగా మిమ్మల్ని మీరు హత్తుకోండి. Just release your hands. You can hug yourself and say to yourself, I love myself. Because that is very, very important, my dear friends. చక్కగా చేతులు రెండు రిలీజ్ చేసి హక్ చేసుకుని నన్ను నేను సంపూర్ణంగా ప్రేమించుకుంటున్నాను అని చెప్పుకోండి. అది ఎంతో ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో విత్ దాట్ చక్కగా ఈ లవ్ ఎనర్జీస్తో, with this love energies, whenever you are ready, you can just put your hands on your eyes. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నారో కళ్ళు రెండు, చేతులు రెండు కళ్ళ మీద పెట్టుకుని స్లోగా జెంటల్గా ఓపెన్ చేయండి. You can slowly and gently release your hands and open your eyes, my dear friends. ఓకే మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా షేర్ చేయాలి అనుకున్నా, ఎనీ కమెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్, మీరు హ్యాండ్ రేస్ చేయొచ్చు. మనీ వేమల మ్యామ్.
హాయ్ మ్యామ్.
హలో మ్యామ్.
మేడం చాలా బాగుంది మేడం మెడిటేషన్. లోపట నా బాడీ మొత్తం డమరుకం లాగా లోపట షేకింగ్ అవుతుంది. లోపట నుంచి చాలా చాలా బాగుంది. కళ్ళు తెరవలేకపోతున్నాను. ఇంకా నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను, నేను ఎరుకతో ఉన్నాను, ఏంటి ఇంత బాడీ షేక్ అవుతుంది అనుకుంటున్నాను. కానీ చాలా చక్కగా ప్రాసెస్ జరిగింది మేడం. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే, అసలు మహిళల గురించి, మహిళల గొప్పతనం చెప్పడము మీ ఛానల్లోనే మేడం. పీరియడ్స్ టైంలోని అసలు ఒక అపోహ ఉండేది అందరికి, ఇది ముట్టుకోకూడదు, అలా చేయకూడదు. స్త్రీల గురించి చాలా తక్కువగా, పీరియడ్స్ టైంలో తక్కువగా అది ఒక వేస్ట్, అది అంటరాండి అనేసి ఒక అపోహ ఉండేది. అలాంటి అపోహల మీరే అది బయట పెట్టారు. దాని యొక్క గొప్పతనము, ఆ బ్లీడింగ్ యొక్క గొప్పతనం మీ ఛానల్లోనే మీరే అది చెప్పారు మేడం. చాలా చాలా కృతజ్ఞతలు మేడం. ఇంత చక్కటి నాలెడ్జ్ మాకు అందరికి అందించారు మీరు. ఇలాంటి బర్త్డేస్ ఇంకా ఎన్నో చేసుకోవాలి మేడం. మెనీ మెనీ హ్యాపీ రిటర్న్స్ ఆఫ్ ది డే మేడం. మీలాంటి వాళ్ళు భూమి మీద వచ్చినందుకు మీ యొక్క కర్తవ్యం మీరు చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఇలాంటి ఇంకా మంచి పనులు, కార్యక్రమాలు చేస్తూ ఉండాలని మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటూ, వన్స్ అగైన్ హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే మేడం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మనీ మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్స్ అలాట్. అండ్ మిత్రులారా, మనందరికి తెలుసు మనీ మ్యామ్ ఇస్ ఏ యోగా ఇన్స్ట్రక్టర్. మ్యామ్ మనం రిక్వెస్ట్ చేయగానే 41 days యోగా సెషన్స్ చేశారు. ఇంటర్నేషనల్ యోగా డే రోజు కూడా మనం వచ్చారు. మరి థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మనీ మ్యామ్. మీ సపోర్ట్ ఎప్పుడు మాకు DFSకి ఉండాలి. థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ యువర్ విషెస్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ
అండి. ఎస్ మైథిలి.
విష్ యూ హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే మేడం టుడే.
యా థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి.
మేడం ఏమనుకోవద్దు, నాకు మాత్రం మీ ముగ్గురిని చూస్తే మీరేమో సుభద్రాదేవి లాగా, సారేమో బలరాముడి లాగా, ప్రబోధ్ సార్ ఏమో కృష్ణుడి లాగా ఉంటారు మేడం. అట్లా మీ పేరెంట్స్ కి మీరు అలా పుట్టారు మేడం. ఆ వర్డ్ చెప్పాలని నాకు 1 month నుంచి అనిపిస్తుంది. ఈరోజు చెప్పండి. మీరు ఆ విధంగా వచ్చారు మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నైస్. సో యా మైథిలి గారు కదా. ఎస్, నైస్ అండి. సో వండర్ఫుల్. ఇంకా ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా షేర్ చేయాలి అన్నా ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్ జస్ట్ రేజ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్. థింక్ ఇక్కడ చాలా మంది చాట్ విండోలో పెడుతున్నారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్ ఫర్ వెరీ గుడ్ మెడిటేషన్, వండర్ఫుల్ సెషన్. యా, అండ్ హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే విషెస్. యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. ఒక మెసేజ్ ఏదో అర్థం అవ్వలేదు, బట్ దట్స్ ఓకే. Thank you all so much, my dear friends, and love you all. So మీ అందరు విషెస్, ఇట్ రియలీ మీన్స్ ఎ లాట్ టు మీ. అండ్ ఎస్పెషలీ ఇవాళ మనం డిఎఫ్ఎస్ సెకండ్ యానివర్సరీ సెలబ్రేషన్స్ చేసుకున్నాం. సో మీ అందరు సపోర్ట్ ఇలాగే ఉండాలి, అండ్ వీ విల్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ మోర్ అండ్ మోర్. ఇంకా అందరూ ఉమెన్కి, మీ లైఫ్లో ఉన్న ఉమెన్ అందరికీ కూడా ఈ నాలెడ్జ్ షేర్ చేయండి. ఓకే మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. అండ్ ఇంకా అలాగే మీకేమైనా ఐడియాస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఇలా చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది అంటే కనుక హ్యాపీగా షేర్ చేయండి. బికాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్, మనం అందరం ఓన్లీ ఇదంతా కూడా వాలంటీర్స్ తోనే నడుస్తూ ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఎనీ వన్ ఆల్సో వాంట్స్ టు జాయిన్ అవర్ వాలంటీర్ గ్రూప్, ప్లీజ్ డూ జాయిన్. సో ఐ థింక్ మీరు ఇక్కడ రవలి ఉంది, రవలికి సెపరేట్ గా మెసేజ్ పెట్టినా ఓకే. ఆర్ఎల్స్ రవలి ఇక్కడ వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ ఇందాక షేర్ చేసింది, ఆర్ఎల్స్ షీ కెన్ షేర్ ఇట్ అగైన్. సో ప్లీజ్ డూ జాయిన్ ద గ్రూప్స్. అండ్ ఆల్సో మీరు ఎటువంటి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వగలన్నా కూడా, అంటే ఇన్ ఎనీవే, లైక్ కొంతమందికి ఫ్లయర్స్ చేయడం వచ్చు, కొంతమంది లైక్ దే ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్ అట్ యాంకరింగ్, దే ఆర్ గుడ్ అట్ హెల్పింగ్, దే ఆర్ గుడ్ అట్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. ఇన్ ఎనీ వేస్, ఇఫ్ వీ కెన్ form a group and if we can help more and more women, that is very, very important. So if anyone wants to join the group, please do join, and please do help each other. Okay my dear friends, thank you all so much, and love you all. Okay, I think ఇక్కడ మనకి వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ కూడా షేర్ అయింది, so you can join that.